Hello and welcome again to episode number 26 of the Dishing and Swishing podcast. Here with Ed and Nick in the basement again. No Sirius XM studios. A lot of stuff going on in the week of sports for us, so a lot to talk about today. Nick, what's going on?
Nothing, bro. Just driving an hour to Staten Island, probably an hour and change home.
Look, you're dedicated. Unlike most, unlike
This is what happens,
the
bro.
people who used to be affiliated with this podcast, you are definitely
Stop
the
throwing
opposite of
shade.
them.
Stop throwing shade.
I am throwing a little bit of shade on them. It's been a weird week for me too, because I'm very.
You've been under the old weather there, huh?
Yeah, and I like to follow I'm a routine based.
I think there's one other human being that I've ever met in my life that likes routines just as much as you, and that's my friend Stefan. But other than that, you are the routine.
Like same breakfast. I go to the gym the same time. I go to work, travel the same time. Same boat, same train. People like when is he in boat? The Staten Island ferry, that is. Same everything I do. Come home, usually eat the same thing for dinner. Watch the same show, listen to the same podcast, and I'm on the way. Like everything is exactly the same. And this week, yeah,
that sounds like I'd go insane.
I'm just used to it.
You sound like Christian Bale, kind of.
Like an American Psycho.
Yeah.
My
name is Patrick Bateman.
I can promise you I'm not crazy. I don't like change. That's
you don't murder people on the side.
No, I do not murder people on the side. I just don't like change. I like what I'm used to, and I like what I like, and that's what I stick with. So yeah, this week, Sunday night, a little under the weather during the Golden Globes. I might have yacked in Jada's house.
May or may not have.
Didn't feel so good that night or Monday early morning, and then I have not. Once you start that down that path of like the virus, flu, whatever it is, you don't feel the same for a while. So no work for me on Monday. I had a training thing today that I couldn't go to as well. So I'm in kind of not with my usual program. So now, but did give us the opportunity. So
the only way to cure your out of the routine is to play Call of Duty for 8 hours.
It's like I don't know what else to do. Like I'm sitting home doing nothing. James is home, like my brother, so he's playing Call of Duty. He's playing PS4, so I'll hop on with him, play it for a bit.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, me and Frequency Vibrations have been doing nice things in 2K My Player. Do you know that your name is automatically Frequency Vibrations?
Why?
Spike Lee.
He has something to do with it?
Spike Lee directed a storyline based on your My Career.
So your name is Frequency
Vibrations, nickname Freak. Needless to say, in your second year, you could change it.
That's
well,
appalling.
you could change your nickname. No, you could change your nickname.
The
It's
nickname is fine. The name Frequency Vibrations
it's utterly ridiculous. So, needless to say, in the second year, I changed my name to Big Daddy.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
very fitting.
Right. So, we've been doing some things. 15.9 and 10.5.
Well, it's good that we got some video game time in, because I usually don't. During my routine doesn't have time for video games on most days, because I've been doing a lot of things, here and there with friends, either a brunch in the city, out for drinks, a lot of, stuff to watch on TV.
It's a lot of drinking.
When the I didn't mean it like that. But when you have the girlfriend, how the story is. The other half is there. You got to do what they want to do, and you're always with them. So now she's doing her thing in LA, and I'm here. I'm like a lost puppy dog.
You're here playing Call of Duty for 8 hours.
I'm here with the flu, playing Call of Duty. That's the life's been. But as the week's gone on, I got a little bit better, inch by inch, and luckily for us, we always hit the jackpot. A lot of big news broke. Last podcast
hit the jackpot, but not the Powerball.
Yeah, no Powerball winning. There was 3 winners, right? One in California. Well, the median income was like $105,000 for like the town where it was won, which is unfair. And then a guy won in Florida, and a guy won in Tallahassee. Not a person. The winning ticket in Florida and Tennessee, not Tallahassee. Sorry. Yeah, did not win. I bought my $2 Powerball ticket. I'm not a big lotto guy, because my thought process is, if you're gonna buy a lotto ticket, just take the money you're gonna use to buy it and go to Atlantic City or Vegas, real closer to Vegas, or some other kind of place to gamble.
Yeah, I don't know. I spit on the Powerball. I would buy a $2 ticket to spit on it and then throw it out.
Your odds are between 1 and it was like 292 million. So take the money and go play. Put it on black. Put it on
black,
red,
baby. Yeah,
put it on zero.
Well, that's 50-50. You got 50.
Everything
1
in
and
life,
2.
Everything in life is 50-50. The odds. You think about it. It's either it happens or it doesn't happen. It's either yes or no.
Yeah, but black or red. It's not like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
It's either you win or you don't win. That's what it is.
Well, even still, it's a better odds than winning the lotto.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying to do. That. Go play craps. Go play blackjack. You're gonna have a better time. I don't even like slots. Go play a slot machine. You have a better chance at winning than you do at the Powerball. Will you win 1.5 billion? No. But just to play that, and people who get in pools and they go and they team up with people and you buy hundreds of dollars. My dad said he was at the store the other day.
This is the most ridiculous thing. How do you get into a pool with like 200 plus people?
You get more money. You get more numbers and odds, and you split it up,
and then you still lose. It's like
you will lose.
It's like,
that's what it is.
Who's Willy Wonka? Was it Gene Wilder? It's like you get nothing.
Yeah,
you lose. At the
that's
end of the
happen.
day, that's it.
So take the money you're going to spend. Tell you and your coworkers, take the money. Hop on the Atlantic Express bus. Down the Jersey Turnpike. Go to Atlantic City. Go to Harrah's. Go to Caesar's Palace. Whatever. Go play slots. Go play a table game, and you're gonna win more money than you will. Or even if you lose, at least you're having like the thrill of playing. Yeah. It's the sport in gambling. There's no sport in the lottery. You just sit at home and wait for Yolanda Vega to come on your TV and say you didn't win, you schmuck. So that's like I don't know.
Go back to work tomorrow.
Did I buy a ticket? Yes, I bought a ticket. I was with friends, near the ferry. And
not drinking this time.
There's the Indian guy before pre-drink, before a Saturday brunch. It was Jada's farewell brunch, and we all lined up and all got a ticket from the nice Indian man. We said we'll come back and party with you if we win, and we did not win.
Okay, very good.
And it's $2 just to say you're part of it because the odds obviously to be 1 in 292 million are better than 0. And you could say, I'm part of it, and you could dream, what would you do? What sports franchise would you buy? This and that, and that's fine. But to really think you're going to win and be, I'm going to team up and buy 100 tickets, like you're an idiot. You're just a flat-out idiot because you're not going to win.
You don't see. You're
just burning your money.
Right. I don't know. There are smarter ways to burn your money than to legitimately get invested in the Powerball and to say like, here's what I'm going to do when I win and this and that. It's like. Dude.
I mean, the math proves I'm right. The math proves that you have a better chance of winning in Vegas or in Atlantic City playing a table game than you do with Powerball.
I don't know. Just go. Tell your wife you love her. Forget the Powerball.
Save the money. Put it in your kid's college fund.
Well, at that rate, it'll be $500,000.
Oh, yeah. Well, college won't be a thing soon enough, thanks to, was it Bernie Sanders going to end college?
Yeah, good. No, that'll be good, though. It'll be good. Everyone will love it, and it'll all be great.
It'll be a thing of the past. Anyway, we were told by our friends who listen, and shouts to them, thank you for listening, and I would say downloading, but we can't download our thing yet because we still can't figure out iTunes.
Well, so how
by
about
the way, quick disclaimer, if you know anyone who listens to this knows how to put something on iTunes, reach out. Email, tweet, DM, text.
Slide in my Instagram DMs.
That'd be great if you know how to do that.
I will pay you the money the money that I would spend on future Powerball tickets. I will pay you to find me how to get an RSS script converted somehow in computer lingo language to then put it on iTunes and make it work.
Because here's a hint: neither one of us knows what RSS script means.
I don't know.
So that's where we're at. Yeah, we don't know what it means.
I have a guy who tried to help me. A good friend.
Guy.
Yeah, a friend of mine from school. A good friend of mine from school wants to help me, but I've been told, my bad, fam. I've been busy.
So the jury's still out on us
jury's still out on computers.
We don't know what we're doing, but if anyone else could help us, we'll do that. And anyway, some of the good, positive criticism or the feedback we got was, you guys are funny. And if you guys go on a little tangent, keep it up. Don't worry about being so professional because anyone could do robotic sports talk, but you guys have a personality and you have some character, so let it fly. So we'll
First time I heard that I have some character.
Yeah, well, it won't be the last. Anyway, should we talk about sports now, or you want to talk more about other stuff?
We can do whatever you want. I mean, I'm kind of here with my feet up on the bar,
you're relaxing.
This is how this goes.
21 Willis in the studio, the other studio. So last week we talked about the Giants, a lot about the their head coaching search. A lot of teams in the NFL. Today was a big day. And I just got a good tweet actually from Eric. I think your dad's tweeting us at it too.
It might be Papa Wall.
He's
just not. He's not good at Twitter.
No,
is he still the egg? Is he still the egg?
On Twitter again. This is my real time reaction. It's pretty funny. We got a couple of tweets, and I want to get to these points, but thanks to Arthur and Eric on the Giants. So Giants, they fired Tom Coughlin, like talked about last week. We talking about these, go after the Belichick, go after Nick Saban, which not so realistic, and we knew that. And they did
what I thought. It's just fun to talk about Nick Saban.
Well, Nick Saban made a lot of sense. We'll get to him. Congratulations, Alabama. He won his 5th title with them, one behind Bear Bryant. He has five with. Is it 5 with Bama? 5 with Bama, 1 with. No, it's 4 with Bama.
4 with Bama, 1 with LSU.
Right. So congrats to them. We'll get to that game soon. And I thought them winning would be a good thing for the Giants because you'll say, why not give them a call? But, they hired Ben McAdoo, which I said from the last podcast, I went on record saying it's a smart move. It's what they had to do. You got to keep Eli happy, keep Odell Beckham happy, and they did that. And keeping, the guy who made Eli have his 2 best seasons as a head coach, they're going to probably bring in Joe Philbin back from the Packers with Ben McAdoo as the OC, and that's fine. They're going to probably keep Steve Spagnuolo, which, I'm not sure if it's a great move because his defense is putrid this year, but him winning the Super Bowls and having that vaunted defense, that's what's happening.
So you're happy?
Yes, because...
Are you sure? You don't sound thrilled.
No one's thrilled. No Giant fan is thrilled.
You're not thrilled.
And no Giant fan's thrilled because you don't have the big name guy. You don't have a Harbaugh. You don't have a Saban. You don't have a Belichick. You don't have a guy who everyone's starting to turn heads, and you're gonna, you found that guy. But what it comes down to is if you're gonna go based on the people they interviewed, which was, and you could fill in the guys if I missed any. It was McAdoo, it was Spags, it was Gase, it was Hugh Jackson, it was Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. I don't think they brought in Chip Kelly. And am I missing anyone?
No, I don't really
know.
That's pretty much it. I've kind of had a feeling.
So obviously they weren't thrilled with any of those candidates, and McAdoo was the safe and obvious choice, I think, because based on what Eli wants and what's best for the team. The one bright point of the Giants was their offense last year. I'm not sure much of a say Eli had in this matter because I don't think he's a guy that has that much power that he can tell the Mariners what to do. I don't think they're that kind of franchise that lets the players dictate what the moves that the franchise should go in. I don't think he has that power yet, and he shouldn't. I don't think anyone in the NFL really does. And it got to the point almost where you're like, why not just bring back Coughlin then? If no one impresses you, and he's still out there, and he wants to coach. He was flirting with Philadelphia, flirting with San Francisco 49ers, and thankfully he did not. He turned down the Eagles job.
And that's what somebody I don't even remember who it was talking to me about Coughlin, and like, why don't we just keep him and this and that, and he could still coach, but he resigned. He resigned. Let's get this one thing very clear. Tom Coughlin was fired.
He was fired.
Okay, he didn't resign. He didn't step down. Tom Coughlin was unofficially fired.
Maras said himself he was not coming back even if he wanted to coach.
He wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
So the people who I have spoken with that said, oh, Tom Coughlin stepped down. Tom Coughlin didn't want to coach anymore. That's garbage.
Sure.
It's absolute garbage.
You're right.
So, but you bring up a solid point. Why? I don't know. Why fire a guy essentially and keep all of his assistants?
And that's you just hit the
what
nail on
the
the head.
hell is the point of that?
And the tweets we got in from Arthur and Eric. Eric said, "Does it make sense to fire Coughlin, keep all the assistants?" And Arthur
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Why keep? Is it good to keep Spags despite his track record? And I think those are two great questions, and they're kind of the same. They lead to the same point.
The only thing is that the only reason I guess Coughlin was fired was not because the offense stunk, because McAdoo was there and their offense was pretty good, and Eli had a good season. And Spagnuolo wasn't fired because he didn't have the defensive personnel at his disposal to be good. But what Coughlin had is a what is he, 11 years now in the league? 12, Eli?
Yeah, yes.
He's got an 11, 12-year-old veteran quarterback.
Every year he has
and
right.
in the last 2 minutes of the game, made poor decision after poor decision after poor decision. So that's why I guess he gets the boot. But it kind of still doesn't really make sense. Either clean house or don't clean house.
Right.
You made a 70-year-old man a scapegoat.
It doesn't make any sense because that means you're essentially blaming all the team's problems this year on one person.
On Tom Coughlin. And I get it. The head coach, like I said, poor decisions. He's kind of the head here, so you chop the head off.
He takes the blame.
But
I don't agree that they're all based on him.
Really? He's the only one? I don't know. I'm not a Giant fan. I am kind of indifferent to what the Giants do, but to me, I don't know if McAdoo would be my guy. I guess that's the default pick, right?
It's exactly what it is.
Is it just the default pick?
He was there. The offense was good. Your two best players performed well underneath him. So you're keeping one thing the same. You're keeping unity, and the Giants always preach.
The thing I like the most about this whole coaching turmoil is that Philbin. I like Joe Philbin. I think Joe Philbin's a pretty good coach. offensively.
And I think Miami screwed up with him too, because they could have had a better team than what turned out. But their front office is a problem. The Giants preach unity. They want to have a team that's very, not a lot of big overhaul, not a lot of change, and that's fine. And I think in the NFL you need that. Look at your team too, the Steelers. You don't make big changes.
Tomlin's been there for 10 years now.
Yeah, and Carr was there for a decade as well. And
you told me last week, you're like, Steelers have had 3 coaches in their entire history. It's like Noel, Cowher, and now Tomlin. But it's not that far.
No, it's not. It's really not that far off at all. And the Giants go in the same vein.
The phone's back.
Yeah, the
phone's back. I've been here for 2 hours. I've been here for 2 hours at least.
Yeah,
right
about.
now.
Yeah.
Phone hasn't rang once. We got on the air for 5 minutes. The phone rings.
Who is it? Is it like student loans thing? Like, Eddie, you got to start paying this? Like, what? I don't know what's going on.
My favorite are the people that call my house. I don't even answer my house phone anymore.
I haven't touched my house phone in years.
It has cooties.
Yeah.
So it's when I answered the phone back in the day, it'd just be like, "Hello, you are eligible to receive a gift certificate for," and I'm just like, click.
It's one of those. Like,
click.
I wanted
Every single time. It's without fail. It's either telemarketer or these automated Siris.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has a Siri now.
Yeah.
So right. I don't get it.
That's what I get.
So I've had enough.
Anywho, the Giants. What was I saying? So, they want uniform. They don't want a lot of change. They don't want big change. They don't want to ruffle feathers, every which way in the organization. But if you're only firing Tom Coughlin, then you're saying that Jerry Reese did a good job of putting a good enough players on the team, which I disagree with. Then you're going to say that Steve Bagnall does not deserve to get fired, like Arthur brought up in the tweet, because their defense is one of the worst in the NFL, and by you're not firing him, you're saying, okay, well, the defense is good enough last year, so we're going to keep him. The one person who I'm not going to blame is probably McAdoo, because the offense was good under him. The offense, they did what they needed to do. They scored points. If you want to put some of the late boneheaded calls on him for the play calls, it's possible. I'm not sure how much of the decision was up to McAdoo or Coughlin or even Eli for that matter in the huddle. We still don't know. A couple of those games, the way they ended the whole, the Cowboys game, the Falcons game, the Saints game, all those games, the Jets game, Patriots game. I don't know how much of those were, screw ups from the huddle or from what Coughlin, going against McAdoo's word. But point being, McAdoo was the one guy out of the group I kind of just named that didn't really screw up as much. He's like the one guy who was like the least unscathed.
And it comes back to just default. He's the default option. That's it.
He's the one guy who doesn't seem to have a flaw there. Yeah. And by all accounts, everyone seems to like him and thought he would be a really good head coach. Mike McCarthy, the coach of the Packers, said something
today. The Eagles wanted McAdoo
too. Yeah, the Eagles wanted him, and McCarthy said that he deserves. He's going to be a great coach. Everyone seems to like him. He's a good football mind. I mean, he was up for other head coaching jobs a couple years back when he left for the Giants initially. So I think. Yeah, he's not the big name. He's not a flashing that everyone's going to get really excited for. He's going to, change the whole culture. But maybe the Giants don't need that because you still have right now an all-pro quarterback, and you have probably one of the best wide receivers in the league, top 3 minimum. So maybe you don't need a whole overhaul to kind of shake things up because when you think about it, like the old story was cut off 75 seconds of the Giants games, those 5 or 6 games, and
and they were one of the best teams in football.
And they would have been the best teams in football.
Right.
So if you want to look at it that way, then the team might not have needed a big change.
I have a question for you. And I guess what were we watching? Boomer and Carton, they were talking about this.
Yeah.
How much of the blame does Manning deserve for all of this?
That's what I'm saying before about those late calls, with him. The boneheaded plays they made late, is that on McAdoo for calling the play? Is that Eli changing the play or calling his own play or not knowing what to do in that scenario? Do you blame Coughlin for not making sure Eli knows what to do? Like it's a weird dynamic.
This is the chain of command.
Who do you blame? Yeah,
obviously the blame is Coughlin, but I'm just wondering.
Do I think Eli was told a number of plays and to pick what he think was best to read the defense? I'm sure Eli at this stage of his career, being 35, 36, definitely knows what to do.
Right.
Do I think that McAdoo called the right play in every scenario? No, I don't. Do I think that Tom Coughlin also kind of knows the play? I'm sure Coughlin knows the play that's being called in the field. He has veto power as well. He also has to coach and prepare his players to be in the right spot at the right time. So it's on everyone. I think that Eli, I'm trying to think of specific plays. With the clock management. He's the one on the field.
Yeah, where is Eli in all of this? Like, how much blame does he deserve? And I guess you could ask an interesting question if another quarterback were coaching the Giants, are they in the playoffs? You know, are they where the Redskins were? You know, where are the Giants with somebody else at quarterback?
I mean,
I know it's an asinine question
to say because the offense was never the problem.
No,
that's
it's
why
not.
It's a weird question to say.
But
I think McAdoo,
part of the decision making, I would imagine, falls on the most important player, which is the quarterback.
Okay, would Tom Brady make the same boneheaded plays that I think
No,
that Eli
no
did?
way,
I don't
never.
think he would. Would Rodgers do the same? I don't think so either. I think that they're better prepared quarterbacks. And is that because of them or is that because of their coach? Now I don't know. That's what I'm saying about the McAdoo Coughlin dynamic with Eli is if they're not putting him in the right spot or telling him, if ABC happens, then do X, Y, Z, and that's
Right.
what I don't know, and I don't know who to blame there because no one's really come out and
Okay.
said that was on me. Do I think that if Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers quarterback of the Giants, would they have beaten the Cowboys or Falcons, whatever?
They're not losing in week one.
I mean, probably not, but
They're not
the
losing
same
in week
token
one.
that Eli did enough to put his team to win that game too. And that's when
But
the
then
defense
his
gets
own
stopped.
wasn't that his own decision?
Yeah, he's also screwed
So
up. Yes.
I mean,
But when you're scoring 30+ points in those games like they did, I'm not. The offense is never the problem.
All right, so
That's
let
my
me-
issue with that.
so let me give you another question. How long now is McAdoo and subsequently, or I guess flip-flop those if you want, Jerry Reese's leash here?
I think Magadoo's leash is way longer than Jerry Reese's leash. I think Jerry Reese has a 1-year leash.
1 year.
If they go to make the playoffs this year, Jerry Reese should be fired. He should have been fired this year. And that goes back to the tweets we got in. Like, why are you keeping everyone who, everyone did a bad job basically but McAdoo, and that's why he got promoted. So why are you keeping everyone else?
But I guess I'm following
Their
you.
their history has not been good.
The draft history is awful.
It's been pretty bad.
And what's the point I even want to get at? Oh my goodness, I'm just shot. And Spagnuolo, he has nobody there. He has no one there. And so isn't it part of the GM's job is to to field a roster that can compete?
Yeah.
This team was dead last in a lot of defensive categories.
He's
like-
defensive coordinator solely because of what happened in the Super Bowl in 2011. That's where.
But how much longer can reputations? I guess this is the Coughlin question. Like, how much longer can reputations? I don't know. Survive, like make you float.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, how much more can you say? Like,
Coughlin
oh,
was-
yo, we won in 07 and we won in 11, but we suck every
the
time
last
else.
3
So,
years, Coughlin was under 500,
right?
and he didn't
we
make the playoffs.
suck every time else.
But
So where's the leash?
He was coaching based on winning 2 Super Bowls with the Giants. That's the reason why he was still coach. So he was coaching still based on reputation. Steve Spagnuolo was brought back based on reputation of what he did with the Giants D line and stomped you out, and everyone rushing the passer would strain all those guys and the Super Bowls, and that's the reason why he got it again. He tried as a head coach and tried as defensive coordinator other places, and he was terrible, awful. He couldn't coach the Rams. He was on the Eagles too, wasn't he? He stunk. So
Yeah.
So he's back here, and he went through, and he did he had to work his way back up the ladder, and he's now back with Giants defensive coordinator, and they were terrible this year, and that's because of, I don't know if it's because of him, but it's certainly because there was not a lot of good defensive players.
Maybe it was because your best player blew his entire right hand off. That could also be a thing.
But Jerry Reese did not do his job to put a good defensive team.
No, not nearly enough.
And
Not
there's
nearly a
enough
good
pieces.
enough job.
So do I blame 100% on Spagnuolo? No, because when you're coaching guys who are not as good as the other offense you're playing against, what really can you do? To have a good defense, you have to have good players. Why are the Seahawks good at defense? The Seahawks have a lot of good players.
No.
They have Bennett.
How many players do you think could make that Chancellor play that he made in Minnesota the other day? Not many. No,
not a lot of players that can do that. And the Giants, do they have some good defensive players?
Some.
Sure. JP was all right when he got back. I mean, obviously having a full working hand would suit him a lot better. There was plays I remember specifically watching where he could not grab a player's jersey or the ball.
He has talents.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie had a very good season.
He did have a good season.
Banged up
He was
here and there, but a
surprisingly
very good
good.
season. Prince
Surprisingly
McGuire
good.
was banged up, did not have a good season. You have guys like, they drafted Landon Collins out of Alabama. Like,
Up and
he's
down.
the second, he's up and down, he's
Up and
learning. So there's not a lot of, and that's all basically the same defensive backs. The D line, I mean, Cullen Jenkins might be their best defensive lineman. The linebackers, they cut DeMontre Moore 3/4 into the season because of his idiotic antics in the locker room. They don't have a lot of guys there. A lot of the linebackers are just names you're not going to know.
Right.
No one knows who Casillas is, or
So
who these guys are.
that's clearly
The lack of talent is a
that's
big
clearly
problem.
where they need to go, right? So in the coming months before the season, where do the Giants go?
I don't think there's going to be that much of a change. I don't think the Giants will be there. They're going to be their same exact way. They're not going to make a big free agent splash. They're not going to make a big trade.
Just draft and hope those draft
draft
picks pay off?
and hope they work out. That's exactly what they're going to do. And I think and I think their belief is that we have Eli and we have Odell Beckham, and the end of the year the running game got much better when they kind of relied on Jennings.
When they made Jennings the feature back,
it was much better.
Much better.
So that's what they're going to do. So again, back to the tweets and the questions you were asking me is I think that Spag should have been held accountable, and I think that Reese should have been held accountable. Definitely should have been held accountable. And I think Reese more so than Spag because of Reese is the guy in charge of putting the players on the field for
who were as shown by 16 weeks of play, pitiful on defense.
Yeah, not very good.
But I will say this: the one thing I'm happy about Coughlin being fired is that now he can go back to Gringotts. And he can open keys and he can open locks and things for Harry Potter because
I think Tom Coughlin knew deep down that he cannot ruin his legacy of the Giants by coaching for the Eagles next year.
If Tom Coughlin coached the Eagles, would hell freeze over in New York?
That's my point. And I think that they know very well. Like I think he felt it, and I think Tom Coughlin's a good guy because obviously he turned in the job, and the 49ers just hired Chip Kelly. We didn't break that news. They
hired Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. So I think that the Maras and the Tishes and anyone else in the Giants front office is thinking if he goes and signs there and he goes and beats us twice next year, I mean, it would have been...
This is going to be blowing my mind,
It would have been like pitchforks and torches right at Giants, the Meadowlands and MetLife Stadium because it's a disaster. Because you're going to go fire a guy, the only one you fired, and he's going to turn around and take a team that was the biggest
disaster show.
It was a circus last year, and he's gonna beat your team twice. I don't care if they went 2-14. If he beat the Giants twice, it's all it takes.
All it takes is for them to beat the Giants.
It would have shown.
I think maybe all it would even take is to beat the Giants once in the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
For people to
especially
go nuts, to go bananas,
and especially when the Giants under McAdoo are struggling. And if there's no improvements anywhere, it would be hell. It would be pure hell for them. And I think they definitely were afraid of that. And I don't know what changed. I don't know why Tom Coughlin was so interested in the job and did how many interviews
pulled out, and
then pulled out. I don't know some fugazi went on, but he didn't feel like the right guy for it. And good for Tom for not taking it. And I don't have a problem if he did take it. I am not anti-Tom
Well, you know what though?
Coughlin.
Like, look,
that's the Giants screw up.
Put yourself in Mr. Gringott's shoes.
If I was Tom Coughlin, I would 1,000% take that job.
I would take the job just because the Giants fired me and made me step down, and then tried to pull all this cockamamie stuff about me.
Well, for one, I'd rather be a coach of the Eagles than coach the 49ers because I think both front offices are pretty terrible with Lurie, and then you have Trent Baalke and Jed York over there. I'd rather coach for the Eagles because I think that actually it's worse to coach out in 49ers. That's a different topic. I would coach the Eagles, and I would just game plan like what Rex did to beat the Jets. I would game plan to beat the Giants, and I would run up the score, and I would make sure they know it, and they screwed up. And again, it's because if it's one thing if Coughlin was fired with Spags and fired with Reese,
but then they all share the blame. Now
they're blaming it 100% on Tom Coughlin, and I can't blame him for wanting to take the job. I'm glad he didn't as a Giants fan, but I have no problem if he did because he's a man. He can do what he wants. It's his job. It's his well-being.
At the end of the day, you have to make a living somehow. He's 70 years old or not. Right. And if the guy loves to coach and still has fire and passion and desire in his heart, then what do you do?
I think he's uncoaching now because he's not going to take the Bucs job. He's not going to take the Titans job. I'd be shocked if he takes anyone to take one of
I would take the Bucs job over the Titans job, but that front office is all screwy too. What do you want to do over there?
I know it doesn't make any. He won't do that. The Giants are a perfect fit for him. The Eagles, at least they have some talent here and there. Would make a little bit more sense. I still think the NFC East is up for grabs, so I think that's why he was thinking about taking that. But that would just be a PR mess. It's a PR nightmare if he goes and wins twice versus the Giants. It's a disaster. And I think the whole notion of blame, and they're essentially blaming him for all the problems. I cannot sit here and say that Tom Coughlin was the reason for all the Giants' failures this year. I think it's part Eli. I still think it's part of McAdoo if you want to throw him in there for the play calling, although he was the bright spot of the Giants this year. And I think Tom Coughlin for not preparing the guys to get where they need to be. And I said this on other older podcasts. I did put a lot of blame on Tom Coughlin on not coaching, not preparing right. But I cannot say it was 100% his fault. So the number one guy I had a problem with, Jerry Reese. And I made that been known too. But I think him not picking drafting, trading, he's the number one guy because the roster talent is not that good, and they were saved by the really good play of Eli and the really good play of Odell Beckham. That's really it.
I think that now you just kind of have to live with what you got. You know what I mean? You have to live with what you got. You got McAdoo, you got Spags, Reese is still there, and you're gonna have to move forward, like you said. You're gonna have to do these things, and so as a Giant fan, I think your best bet is to just kind of see what you get, really. I mean, Coughlin's gone. There's no bringing Coughlin back. There's no, like...
Although I would have advocated for it a couple days ago if they didn't name look, if they named, like, Terrell Austin coach or, like, Adam Gase head coach or something, I would have been like, why not just bring Coughlin back? Because, like, these guys, like, obviously, if it lasted past this weekend, I would have said, like, they're not sold on anyone. I don't think they were. I think, people said that they had McAdoo in their sights for a while, and they were kind of grooming him to be the next guy, but I don't know. It's just it's a situation where they had a guy they were rushed into picking before they really wanted to pick him.
And who knows? You never know. You never know. What if he
Mike Tomlin was not supposed to be interviewed by the Steelers, and look at how he turned out.
And Mike Tomlin's been solid for 10 years. He's got a bowl. All that matters is he got a bowl. So you never know. You never know with these guys. Ben McAdoo could end up being the greatest head coach in Giants history.
You're right. And I'm not anti-McAdoo whatsoever.
No, and I'm not saying you are. All I'm saying is just that, like,
sense.
Is that we don't know. We don't know right now.
If you're not going to get a big dog, and you know what the big dog list is.
Right.
It's the Saban, the Harbaugh, the crazy idea for Belichick.
Then make a logical choice.
He is the most logical choice because of his relationship with Eli Manning. Now, if you're going to keep McAdoo and you're going to keep Spagnuolo and Reese, that's where I have a problem because you only fired one guy. So if Reese and Spagnuolo don't have the shortest leash among leashes in the history of leashes, then I'm gonna have a problem with that because what happens if the Giants go under 500 again this year and you keep Jerry Reese?
What
happens if their defense is the 20th defense or higher, meaning like 22-32?
Then I guess you can't keep him then.
That's what I'm saying. So their leash has to.
So I guess I answered my own question from about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, there you go. You can't keep him. You cannot keep him. I would fire him mid-season if it was that bad. No, but like it's been done before. You could fire a defensive coordinator mid-season. I would fire him.
I mean, yeah.
If you're losing,
Chip Kelly got fired with one game left, so you could pretty much do anything you want.
So look, I'd fire them if things are going downhill fast. It's going to be a very big offseason for the Giants. I don't see the Giants making a big splash in the offseason. I don't see them making useful trades. I don't see them making big signings. I don't see them. The draft, let's see, they're picking 10th. There's a lot of people liking this draft for positions they need. It's not a very talented draft.
It's about time the Giants pick a linebacker, though. I'm sorry. It's about time.
It's a good draft.
Haven't picked a linebacker since Vietnam.
And, there's a guy named Jalen Smith who, got an injury, but they said his surgery went so well that they convinced him to come out of college and play. The guy had over 140 tackles.
That guy's a beast.
He's like 6'3", 240. I'm wearing North Jersey as we speak, and I might be a little bit biased, but he's a pretty damn good player. He had Mel Kiper's number 2 on his big board, only behind Joey Bosa. So I think that it's going to be a really big year for Reese, and I'm not rooting against him. Obviously, the Giant fan, I want him to do great things, but I'm not sure if I'm confident. So
this is a huge year for the Giants. This is a huge year.
Oh, it's a turning point. I mean, you could say,
this year is a turning point in the franchise's
he will be officially
named franchise's future.
He will be officially named the 17th head coach in franchise history tomorrow morning, Friday. They're doing a press conference there. So I mentioned before we had the Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly goes to the 49ers.
Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin denies. He declines the offer for the Eagles. So they're going to go in a different direction. The Eagles pretty much don't end up with anyone they wanted. So we see which route they're going to go in. We mentioned also the Bucs and Titans job is still open left. I mean, I have to say the Bucs job probably is the most enticing because you have Jameis and you have a good core of offensive players around him. Whereas the Titans, I love Mariota, just really no talent whatsoever. So that's where that. The one thing we can put to bed too is the whole notion of Gruden and Bill Cowher and Nick Saban leaving.
Bill Cowher loves
jobs.
the Steelers so much that I think it would just It'd be like killing him. It'd be like killing himself from the inside to go and sign with someone.
You know what? I think they were the Giants were the one team that he would have went to, a top franchise he would have went to.
Well, it's like going from one top franchise to another.
The problem is that he spent so many years out of the NFL now. It's just like, why get back in that hole? I think it kind of left him. People say that Bill Cowher was like a coach, tooth and nail, like will always be the coach. I think when you're sitting on a TV set putting makeup on for 10 years,
he'll always be coach.
I still think you lost the fire.
I don't know if it's there, right?
I think Gruden lost it too. Gruden is the highest paid guy at ESPN.
All I need to say to John Gruden right now is just don't leave. Because
he
is way too entertaining.
He's the highest paid guy at ESPN, and he has to work one game.
He works one day every week.
Why you're going to go and coach and ruin your life again? You're on the biggest watch game.
Let me tell you something there, man. If you go out there and coach again,
So you could agree that we could put that to bed. They'll never if those guys are not going to take a Giants job. Like, really, what job is there to take? And I'll throw in Saban, too. If Saban, who just won his
But who knows?
fifth
Who
title.
knows? Who knows?
But would you see Nick Saban leaving college and go take a Tennessee Titans job? Would you
No,
go and see
absolutely not.
Bill Cowher?
No.
Bill Cowher come in to take a Jacksonville Jaguars job? Would
No,
you
but
go
you
and
don't even
see
know. Like I said, you don't even
Rudy
know
go
if
take a
they
Houston
were
Texans
hot.
job?
Like if they were even called. Who knows if they even rang the phone? Like they even rang to give him a ring.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Who knows if they even
It would
called
make sense,
Saban?
too. It would make
Who
sense
knows
to
if
call him.
the Giants even called Saban and be like, look, congratulations, like your team's pretty beast and all, but like, how about you
think
come coach for
I
like
would put a
I
fair
don't
amount of
know.
money on the Giants definitely
reaching out?
to Cowher, because I think of the relationship with the Mara family and Cowher. I think there's definitely some talks there. Saban, I'm not sure if Saban is a if Saban's like a giant kind of guy, because of his like how he's very I don't know. People just describe Saban in some weird ways, and he's a shark, and he's very. I don't know if they'll put him.
And either way, we'll never know. So it doesn't matter. Either way, we'll never know.
I don't think you'll ever see Saban in the NFL again if he's not taking the Giants job. I don't think we'll ever see Cowher and John Gruden in the NFL ever again either. I just don't see it happening. There's not that many jobs
fair.
in the NFL that's going to be open, and if they're not going to take them now, Cowher's in his late 50s. Not that he's too old at all, but he's been out of the league for 10 years, and he's enjoying his job in CBS. So why are you going to head back in now when your dream job outside of the Steelers is open? Was the Giants because your relationship? You did not take it. John Gruden, you're not gonna have you could have went to the Eagles organization. You could have went to the Giants organization. He didn't want to do that, so I don't see it. Because how long can you stay out of the game, and somebody want you to come back in? You're out of touch with the league.
I mean, at that point, yeah, obviously.
big time because
At that
you're
point,
on
yeah,
a
I
TV
mean,
set.
I just, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
You can never say never. I just can't see it happening. I think the Giants' job is one of those very few jobs that I think that everyone in the league looks around. You maybe want to say the Bears, you want to say the Steelers, you want to say the Giants, you want to say the Patriots. Now, I'm trying to think maybe who the Cowboys,
and
the
the
Packers.
It's 6 or 7.
There's a couple of franchises where you're like those are can't miss jobs. They don't come around very often.
No, they don't.
So,
and especially the Giants one.
Yeah.
Especially the Giants one. So
I think those guys are pretty much done. We are talking about Saban, though, so to transition smoothly into the national championship game. That was a very, very entertaining game.
What a game, man.
I
What a freaking
I was
game.
rooting for
Clemson. Easily
No,
Clemson.
I was rooting for the Crimson Tide. I wanted the Roll Tide
because
because
you want Saban to be a Giant.
I wanted to see the Giants would give him a call, just because I thought it'd be interesting to see that happen. That being said, like once they got to at that point, it's a certain point when you're watching a game when you have no dog in the fight, and you're just like, I just want a very good game.
My
And
jaw
we
hit
got
the
it.
ground. My jaw hit the ground with the onside kick. That was.
Oh my god! It was a beautiful. It's funny because
Is that not just the most ballsiest thing you could think of?
The Polish kicker. They did. ESPN did a thing on him, like a one of those mini documentary, like before.
Like
they,
E60
they
kind of
had
deals?
like an 8-hour pregame show.
Okay.
And they showed part of it was like he's from Poland, and his parents just said like see you later, and he was like an orphan, and then
They
some
gave him the pike
and then
deuce?
some American like Southern family from I guess Alabama or whatever. They adopted him, and he adopted this Polish kid, and they turned him into a kicker. Number 99, I forgot his name. It's like Adam something, and they went back to Poland. They went back to Poland, and he went to like he was just like strolling around the neighborhood, like showing his house where he grew up, showing a park. He ran into like some old orphan friend, some girl, and then he kept walking. And goes, "This is my house where like my parents."
Adam Griffith.
There, yeah, Griffith. That's the American name. I'm not sure that's the Polish name. And they went to the house and his parents like were still there.
Okay.
And like he never spoke to them in forever, and now they're there, like, oh, I'm your son, by the way. And they're like hugging him and all this and that. He's showing them everything about his life. And anyway, so I learned a little about the kid. And then the game, he missed the field goal before the onside kick.
40-some-odd yard field goal.
Yeah, he missed it.
Right.
And then he goes and redeems himself with that beautiful onside kick, perfect.
Kick.
And Saban said if they didn't hit that kick, he felt like if they didn't do something different,
They were gonna lose the game.
Yeah, the game was going to go in their favor. And
But you know
could be
what?
right.
Let me tell you something. That kid, Deshaun Watson, played
He had a
his
good game.
behind.
He had a very similar
He's nasty.
Vince Young, Cam Newton type game where the quarterback takes over the game.
He was taking over.
and he did things
He
with his
was
legs
just-
and everyone could do.
At one point,
Great arm as well.
Oh,
Some of his best throws too were like dropped or incomplete. Like he had the one in the end zone, like right in the
beauty
money.
beauty ball.
So I think he's gonna keep Clemson. I mean, he's still around. He's still young. So Clemson's gonna have him next year.
Good.
They'll be right up. They're up the top of the standings again.
They're already number 1 ranked.
Yeah, and then he's gonna be, I think, definitely a pro prospect. Teams in a couple years we're looking at.
This obviously makes Saban the GOAT, right?
I think so. So
Here's the thing. I just don't get it. Like, I would get sick and tired of just like
sitting in kids.
Ho hum. Here's 12-1,
Yeah.
12-1 national title, 12-1 national title, 13-0
That's
national
what it
title.
is.
It's ho hum. It's like it's
Sit in the
like
kid's living room and convince his parents
it's like
to
he
go
sits
there.
out on the porch in a rocking chair with a harmonica and he goes 13-0.
Spring ball, 90,000 people watch. You go win 12, 13 games, national title, and then back to the kid's living room, back to spring ball, 90,000 people, and then back to 12-1,
Like,
13-0, whatever.
I don't know. Is this still exciting? Because for me,
That's
I know.
the reason why I said if you're not going to go to the NFL now when you won 5 titles and not take the New York Football Giants job, you're never going to go to the NFL. The only thing left that he could do is surpass Bear Bryant. That's one. These are his realistic goals left. Is to pass Bear Bryant
at Alabama.
anywhere. I think. Just
Okay, so
titles in general.
just surpass
Just
him in general.
titles. Pass him in titles. The next option he could do is go to a really
Crap.
not a crap program, a program that used to be very good and rebuild it. Maybe if maybe like a Texas. He was rooming in Texas, and if Charlie Strong can't do it, go to Texas and fix them. Maybe Nebraska. Nebraska do something like that. Programs that used to win.
What if he just decided to coach college basketball instead, and then just like
Look at this point, like why not just do that? Like so. And then the next
I would rather him try and pull like a Larry Brown and like go and try and coach at some whack program.
No, and the next thing would be he'll go to the NFL. And if you're not going to go to the NFL with the Giants job open and the Eagles job open, the 49ers job open, I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to make the transition back. So I guess he's just left is to surpass Bear Bryant, but I think
continue to be a ho hum.
I think
12-1.
leaving Alabama and going to a different college program, and he will succeed. It's just very risky. I think it's much more of a risk than going to the NFL. Because people can understand why you're going to the NFL. I don't think people
understand why you want to leave Bama.
Why you're leaving, like, the Alabama is the top college program ever.
I mean, don't they have the most titles, right?
Yeah,
Easily.
they have like 16 or 17.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
But this is crazy to me. Like I don't know. I could never ever think about in my life just having ho hum. Like I would always be searching for the next
something
thing.
else. Win a Super Bowl title. Oh yeah. Do what Pete Carroll did. That's
Pete Carroll's pretty lit.
we're doing what he did is and he failed
He's
in
a
the NFL.
pretty
He
lit
failed
guy.
in the NFL. Then he went back. So I mean,
I'm a big Carroll fan. I read a huge piece on Carroll. I don't know who wrote it, but shout out to the guy who wrote that.
Talks about how he believes that jet fuel could melt steel beams.
Or how he used to, he was in he was in South Central Los Angeles with a red shirt on, and his assistant coach like had to take his shirt off his back and give him a white polo
Really?
so that Pete wasn't in trouble when he was talking to the kids.
Wow.
It's crazy story. Really interesting. It's like Carroll sleeps like 2 hours a day.
He seems like one of those weird guys. that
He's
does that.
just like always yipped up. Yeah.
Speaking of weird recruiting stuff, do you see what Harbaugh did?
No.
Harbaugh, there's a kicker, right, who signed. He made this huge video, signed with Penn State. He's number one kicker in the whole nation.
Okay.
Going to Penn State next year. He
Yeah.
signed with them, made a whole video, like he rented a private jet to make a video, like crazy stuff, like I'm coming home sort of thing.
Wait, this is a kicker?
Kicker, number one in the nation, signed at Penn State.
Is this a kicker?
Yeah, this is a kicker, the field goal kicker. Not
So
a
what
punter,
is
a kicker.
wait? So on Saturdays he's gonna do what?
He'll kick field goals and off for the should be the Penn
Penn
State
State
line.
lines. Until
Harbaugh wants
Papa
him.
Harbaugh got there.
So what Harbaugh said, and it's a news story now, is that the minute he's allowed to contact players like eligible, what's the word for them? I guess recruits, possible recruits.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
He's gonna go to the kid's house and have a sleepover with him. And he's gonna sleep over, so I'll go to class with you. He says, if you have Penn State stuff in your room, I'll help you take it down. He says, I'll do whatever you want to do. The kid's like, I don't even need a bed. He goes, just give me 6 foot 3 inches of floor space, and I'm good to go. Harbaugh is a sick person. And he's
Wait,
going
so
to-
wait. So is this kid verbally committed or is actually
I think
signed
he
a
ver-
letter
I
of
think-
intent?
No, I think no, because once you sign a letter, you're done.
Right. So it's
I think
verbal. It has to be verbal.
Yeah.
So Harbaugh's trying to steal him from Penn State.
Yeah. And meanwhile, James
What a
Franklin.
sicko. What if you
meanwhile,
just wake
James
up in the
Franklin
morning?
just sitting around like, oh, I don't know what to do because if you Jim Harbaugh coming into the kid's house, going to class with him, he's sitting next to him. He's sleeping in his room. They offered him a couch. He said, I want to sleep in your room. Just give me 6 foot 3 inches of floor space, and I will sleep in your room. Crazy guy. He
Sick.
was
Sick dude.
at the State of the Union the other day.
Jim
and
Harbaugh's a
He
nut.
was signing ticket stubs and he was critiquing the president's like speech and this and that. Like he's doing like game film. The guy is unbelievable. So we'll see. We'll see if he lands that kicker or not. I don't know why Harbaugh's so going crazy with this kicker. And I know what I think they'll win a title in the next 2 or 3 years.
Michigan?
I think so.
Eh.
They're gonna surpass Ohio State and they're gonna be the one. Team
I want to see Urban Meyer have a fist fight with Jim Harbaugh before I want to see their two teams play on the field.
I mean that definitely happened.
I would
Harbaugh
pay
would tag
a
him
lot
out.
of. I would pay some
That's
Powerball-esque
gonna be a
money
really fun battle
to
next-
watch
the next
Harbaugh
couple
fight
years.
Urban Meyer.
Watching Ohio State and Michigan battle like that, and Michigan State's right up there too. Seeing all those teams go back at it, I mean, it's going to be good, and especially with the SEC not going anywhere. But I think Michigan has a real shot to win it. They're ranked very high coming into next season. So, that's just Harbaugh being Harbaugh. The guy is out of his mind. So we pretty much exhaust all football-related activities. Do you want to get into the Chandler Jones thing quick? Just not quick, but I think it's pretty strange. The news breaking now with his response. I just hate that kind of stuff.
Here, it's just like, well, if you're going to open the floor for idiots like us to ask you questions, then why would you not answer them? I don't know. It's like me telling you I'm gonna let you interview me for a half hour, and then you ask me questions about my life and try and find out about me, and then I tell you, well, I don't feel like talking
Well,
about
to
it.
Explain it so we can.
Isn't that just it's stupid?
The whole scenario
asinine.
was very, very strange, and that it came out that he OD'd on like pills or something or some other drug, and then like the cops are kind of the Foxborough police are covering it up, and then I believe they came out and said that it was
he had a bad reaction to synthetic marijuana.
Yeah, first it was a bad reaction to the pain pills he was taking, or he drank the pain pills, and then they said no, and then they said it's synthetic marijuana, and he smoked that, and because it doesn't show up on tests. And the problem with that is though, and while we're not advocating to do the real stuff, but I don't think it goes to. And I'm not a weed guy, so I don't really know. But it doesn't screw you up as bad as this stuff, because this stuff is not natural. It's
this
chemicals.
Stuff, see, what it does is this, and so the synthetic stuff is it simulates the effect of marijuana on the brain, and since it's literally toxic chemicals being put inside your body, you never really know what kind of reaction you can have. Real marijuana is a plant. You're smoking a plant. So, like, at the end of the day, all the effects that it gives you, they like, wear off, and that's it. But these chemicals have side effects, and chemicals cause withdrawals.
Right. That's
what happens. When you smoke synthetic marijuana or use synthetic marijuana, you get side effects, and you have withdrawals and things like that, and that's probably what happened.
So
it probably creates anxiety, too. And I don't do synthetic marijuana, so I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying that these symptoms are synonymous with chemicals, and you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
With mixing it's just mixing chemicals. That's no good for you.
He was found naked, and he went to the cops and was found like naked in his car. It was very strange, the whole scenario. But the problem I have is, look, the guy screwed up, but he was at practice the next day, they said, so he's fine. They're playing the Kansas City Chiefs on this, I believe it's Saturday. Anyway.
Yeah, Saturday. It's the afternoon game on Saturday.
So
or there are 2 afternoon games. I don't know. Either way, I think they're at like 4 o'clock.
So he goes, and this is where I have the problem. So you do what you do, and I think there's one or two ways to go about it. It's one, you're an open book, and you answer any question. The other option is...
Or you answer no questions.
Or you answer
just all
zero
or nothing.
questions, and you avoid the media. And he's open to the media in the locker room, and he gives his typical the Patriot way response. And he's like, he says, I want to apologize for my actions. I want to move past it, but I'm on to Kansas City right now. My main focus is Kansas City. And he did this for 3 or 4 questions in a row, saying that I just want to, my main focus right now is to focus on the Chiefs, and I'm sorry for my actions. I hope we can blow by it. My first problem is I have an issue with you saying you want to blow by it. Hope this blows by. How about this? Don't do synthetic marijuana and then hope, and you cross your fingers and say, oh, maybe I won't forget about it.
Well, here's the hilarious thing. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do this drug, right? I'm going to have a really awful reaction to this drug. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to forget that I even did it.
Yeah, dude, you were naked in a cop car. No one's going to forget you did that.
I'm going to forget that I did this.
You're one of the best players in the Patriots. You're a vital part of the Patriots defense. Before a big game for a team that kicked your butt last year.
And it's like, weren't you naked on a cop car, like in really bad shape? No, I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna move past it. I'm gonna hope this blows.
I'm gonna hope this blows right
over.
We're
on to Kansas City.
Does that not make any sense?
It's I don't know if it's the whole Patriots arrogance thing that can just get by. It's just very bothersome.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna transition us here. The Patriots are going against a team that's won 11 in a row, and like this team is no joke. This team is no joke at all.
I totally agree.
I'm
not gonna pick the Chiefs. And a little spoiler alert, we'll get to our picks at the end of this, but it's going to be – they need him. They need him.
He's lucky he's playing, because if he weren't playing, that defense –
I don't get why isn't the league stepping in? It's just the first offense, nothing happens?
I think at the end of the day, it's the first offense for marijuana, so you get a slap on the wrist. I think that's how it goes, but this is also somebody who knows nothing.
The NFL – I agree, because I think the NFL is just all over those rules are very strange. Also, a quick note.
I feel like you could be a –
Derrick Henry entering the NFL draft.
Good for him. He needs to.
Antonio Brown did not practice the second straight day. So.
That's fine. Neither did Ben.
We'll see what happens with that. Do you want to do our quick NFL picks and then move on to
let's
the?
fire it up.
We'll get on to the next round. I don't have the. I know we'll talk about the Chiefs Pats game first.
I have it here.
Yeah,
hold on one sec. Pull it up here.
I know the Pats are home, and I know that.
All right, so I don't have the schedule here.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? Exactly. We have the Pats going. The Kansas City goes to New England.
I still Kansas City's game versus the Texans is probably as impressive as a game you could do. They scored from literally the first play of the game. They scored. I still cannot trust that team. I cannot trust an Alex Smith-led team. I still don't like. I mean, everyone's like, oh, they don't need Jamal Charles. The fact of the matter is, Jamal Charles is one of the best running backs in the game.
If not the
right.
The best,
and I think Jerry Maclin was banged up too. And if you don't have Maclin playing, you're pretty much done. Their defense is very good. But that being said, I think it's a total revenge game for the Pats from what happened last year. I think Belichick has had 2 weeks off. He's going to think of stuff we'll never seen before just to beat this team badly. I cannot pick against the Patriots, who are now pretty much fully healthy.
Yeah, what's going on with this? What's going on with
back.
Is Edelman playing?
Yeah, they're all back. Everyone's back.
Oh, God help them. Yeah, well, God help the Chiefs. So
that's what I think too. A lot of people. That's a very popular upset pick, but I can't pick that. I'm not buying the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go 31-17 Pats.
Yeah, I like that score, somewhere around there.
Ah.
It's like it's not a blowout, but it's not
team,
close.
And as much as I say the Chiefs are legit, the Patriots at fully healthy, you catch them at fully healthy. It's like you're up against I don't know. It's like you're up against the most possible thing ever.
Very, very few teams have had success there, and I could think on top of my head, maybe the Ravens a lot, the Steelers
occasionally,
the Jets occasionally. The Jets actually under Rex too play them very well.
Here's what I have to say,
and Peyton's caught him before, but it's very rare.
Here's what I have to
say:
really if the Kansas City Chiefs can have
Giants too, but
if Kansas City Chiefs can put Tom Brady on his behind, they'll win.
That's what it comes down to.
This is it. This is like
Houston and Tom Holly have a monster game.
It's crazy. It's crazy because this has been the mantra of every team in the entire league for the past 15 years. Put Tom Brady on his ass. Put Tom Brady on his ass.
Super Bowl.
And no one can do it.
Right.
So, and if you can do it, you do it one game out of 16.
Right. Right.
So if they can do it, they'll win.
Their key is they have great pass rushers. You don't need to blitz to do that, and that's good for the defense because you have extra guys in coverage.
And the Patriots' offensive line isn't great.
It's banged up. It's badly. That's the weakest part of their team is their offensive line.
So,
and if Brady's on the floor, and you said he has no time, and he's constantly moving the pocket. And look, Tom Brady has been known to if you put pressure on him and you get him to have happy feet, and you like when you're a quarterback,
he's erratic. He's erratic.
And when you're a quarterback and you start seeing things and you start seeing shadows and you think you're gonna get hit, it throws you off completely.
Yes, unless you're Ben and then you just run past them.
And I'm not saying it's so easy to do to freaking Tom Brady, but it's happened before. And the Chiefs are the one team I think could do it.
Yeah.
And actually, a bad thing for the Pats is another team wins. If they say they play the Broncos next week, they're another team too that could also rush the passer. They're very good at it. So their road to the Super Bowl is not so easy.
It's not as easy. No.
Especially when their O-lines are banged up and there's a lot of great pass rushers.
And even if they make it out of the AFC, the 4 NFC teams can really get after it on defense.
The Seahawks, forget about it. The Panthers, every team is they can rush.
And Arizona, who could be the best team in the league.
You're right.
So,
you're right. So it's very tough.
Next game is
want to stick with the AFC?
Yeah, we have Broncos Steelers. Now this game is totally dependent.
It's up to the injuries.
This game is totally dependent on whether or not
if Ben
number 7
and Brown
and
can't
AB can't play. It's over.
If Ben plays and no Brown, I'll give him some of a shot. I think if they play D'Angelo, Brown, and Ben, I like the Steelers in that game.
I like the Steelers because you know what? Peyton Manning has to be a complimentary quarterback at this stage in his career.
That's what he's
He can't go out there and throw the ball 40, 50 times because he's just incapable of doing it.
The bright side for them, though, they do have defense. They do have a run game.
And the Steelers are very good against the run.
Yeah.
So if the Steelers can force the Broncos to be one-dimensional, this game will be a lot closer, even without Ben, than people think it will be in Mile High. And I think that the Broncos will win, obviously, without a Ben and an AB.
Sure.
But I think that if the Steelers can force them to be somewhat one-dimensional, Peyton could make a couple of mistakes, and this game could be a lot closer than we think.
Peyton mistakes definitely happen, and I think that if you're missing parts of the big three we just talked about, and the game is still close, then I'm going to write off the the Broncos for that's it. Like, they're not going to win the AFC Championship game even if they get by that because you have to put a team that's starting Landry Jones at quarterback to bed. There's just no other way around it.
You have to bury him alive like the Undertaker.
Yeah. So I think Ben will play. Everyone kind of feels that Ben's
going to play.
I think Antonio Brown, his concussion is a little more shaky because you got to go through the whole protocol thing. The NFL needs to be smarter with that thanks to now Will Smith. But and D'Angelo Williams, I'm not sure what's up with him yet.
I don't think I'm not sure that really even matters because Tucson had a hell of a game.
He did. They ran the ball
Saturday. Had a hell of a game.
It's the bad part of doing a podcast in the middle of the week when NFL teams really don't really decide injuries until Friday night, Saturday morning. So.
But here's what I have to say: Ben and AB play 24-20 Steelers.
It'll be classic. I think it'll be a classic.
And Ben and AB don't play or one and the other play. I think you give the edge to the Broncos by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Broncos too, just because I think I can't trust them being healthy. And Ben's injuries are it's not a good injury to have.
No, it's not. But you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, which I want to get to. He's gonna sleep inside the horse on Friday night on Saturday night. Saturday he'll sleep inside the horse.
He looks like it. The guy's weird, man.
And then he'll play on Sunday, and he'll have all of the horse drugs pumped into him. And we'll feel no pain.
What I want to play out is that he does play in a heroic like Will Reed type game and wins, and then I think they get healthy for the Pats. I think because by then
the Patriots.
I think so. I would love that.
I would. It'd be like.
I think they have a real shot.
I think something we need to discuss if the Steelers move any further is Ben with 3 rings. Where is he? Ben with 3 rings. If he gets it, where is he in the all-time greats? We don't have to talk about it now. Just think about it. It's interesting.
Yeah. You're right. That's a good case.
Next game, we got the Packers going to the desert to play Bruce Arians and the Cardinals.
Aaron Rodgers said something that I found really interesting, and he said that all the pressure is on the Cardinals.
It is,
and I think he's right. I think he's actually spot on. I think Aaron Rodgers does a lot of dumb stuff, and I'm beginning to not like.
I never liked him since he beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
He's just kind of nerdy, dumb.
Yeah,
stuff.
but you know what? He goes out with super hot Olivia Munn.
She denied the engagement. So I mean, maybe she's
a little fugazi.
Yeah, she maybe she's a little fugazi. I don't. So I don't know. They're not. I'm not. I don't even want to say this because it's our podcast, but if people professional people listen to this, well, all I'm going to say this: when you have a spare moment, go and just Google Aaron Rodgers ESPYs and see who he brought to the ESPYs. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not saying right now. I'm just saying in your time, just go and Google. Anyone that's listening, go Google Aaron Rodgers ESPYs and see who Aaron Rodgers brought to the ESPYs, and then get back to me in the whole Olivia Munn thing. Anywho, I think the Packers will play a pretty good game versus the Cardinals, and I don't know why I won't buy into the Cardinals until the Cardinals win a Super Bowl. So I think because of that, I have to actually go with the upset pick here, and I think that Aaron Rodgers will come out firing. Look, the Cardinals demolished the Packers a couple weeks ago, so common sense would say pick the Cardinals, but I think Aaron Rodgers has been here before. Although you could also make the case that Carson Palmer is MVP candidate, which he definitely is. I don't know. I think him saying that the pressure's on the Cardinals and everyone expects them to win. That's when you get the big letdown. The one dud game they'll put out there. So I actually like the Packers in this game.
I think Devontae Adams is out this week.
It doesn't even matter.
Not that it matters. However, I think Arizona is ready to make a strong push for a Super Bowl. I think this team is pretty loaded as they'll ever be. I mean, Carson Palmer's playing the best football literally of his career. 2 knee surgeries later, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I liked Arizona to just go in there and just donkey smack the Packers.
It's
smack
they
them,
should,
like
and they
smack
probably
them hard.
could. And if they do, that means the Packers are really, really bad this year. And we talked about this last week.
They're not good anyway.
But I think what they showed against the Redskins, everyone's like, oh, the Redskins are not. So, the majority of people on ESPN's broadcast, I believe, Fox, and
thought the Redskins were going to win that game.
Yes, all picked the Redskins. And last week, just throwing it out there, I was 4-0.
I also picked the Redskins. My only wrong pick was the Redskins.
I was 4-0. I picked the Packers last week, and I think the Packers had a good showing. They're finally getting things together. And A-Rod's like, listen, I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I'm an NFL MVP. I still have a couple targets here and there. Eddie Lacy and James Stark had a good combined game. They did a by committee thing.
It's crazy how big Eddie Lacy is.
He's like a left tackle.
Guy's
huge.
Dude, it's crazy how big he is.
Yeah,
it's like
It's like Brandon Jacobs on steroids.
But he's not even like he's
just
big.
massive.
He's not like Derrick Henry big. Derrick Henry's a huge all around guy.
No,
or at least
no,
he's kind of like thick.
Fat.
His midsection's very thick. He's a thick midsection guy.
Do you see the the picture of Mark Ingram next to Derrick Henry?
He looks like 1,000 times bigger than him.
Derrick Henry looks like he could have babysat.
The only thing that Derrick Henry has, like, the worst part of him is the hairline.
Did you see that? Wait, did you see that sign?
The Jamil Hill tweet. Oh, did you see that?
Oh no, the sign was great. The Clemson fan sign. It says that Derrick Henry's hairline plays the same position as he does, running back.
Oh, my God. That's really good. It's
great.
bizarre how far back it starts.
It's like
he's a full head of hair, just like it just slid backwards.
Yeah, it got like pushed back. He got like.
But he had it in high school too. I saw like his high school photos where he was still the same size. Like, how are you that big in high school? How are you that jacked?
Genetics,
in high
bro.
I
Genetics,
mean,
bro.
He's crazy. Anyway, like I said before, he declared for the NFL. So anyway, Eddie Lacy, Starks had a good combined game. I think that the Packers might start clicking here. They might be one of those hot playoff teams.
If the Packers start clicking,
the Giants were similar. The Giants had a whatever year they clicked in the playoffs. You still have Aaron Rodgers. I trust a team with a good quarterback. I'm not saying that obviously Palmer isn't. Palmer is in the running for the MVP. I think he'll probably finish third this year. But
yeah,
like I said, the 49ers, the Cardinals need to win. When they win the Super Bowl and they're hoisting it, and
then you'll believe it.
Then they're like established as like a top NFC team.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, okay, from next couple of years,
I'll trust the Cardinals
with Carson and Fitz and with Tyrann Mathieu is hurt now, and you have Patrick Peterson. I'll be like, okay, they're a good team.
Yeah.
Right now, the Packers have the pedigree, and I want to go with them. I think that Rodgers. You don't want to get into a shootout with Rodgers.
You don't want to get into a shootout with Rodgers, but I think that if they can throw him off his game, it could be a long day for Green Bay.
No, you're right. This game will go one of two ways. It'll go the Green Bay Packers are now hot. Watch out for them, or it'll go back to being
they actually stink.
They have a really bad problem and they need to fix this.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Final game, probably the most interesting game in my opinion.
I think so too.
Is Carolina and Seattle in Carolina, and while we've been discussing our picks for the past 10 minutes or so, I've been debating in my head, am I going to take Carolina? Am I going to take Seattle? And I still don't know.
I'm taking Seattle.
And
both underdogs.
Did I say
both dogs?
Did I say last week that Seattle's going to run the table and win the Super Bowl? Because if so, I kind of have to I have to like stick with that.
I don't remember you saying that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think Seattle's going to get hot at the right time. I think. Look,
they didn't impress me last week, but then again,
but that game was negative like 8 degrees. Like, you cannot play football in that weather. You can't. Your hands don't work. Your body does not work. It was a very strange game. It was sloppy because of the weather.
Yeah.
Luckily Russell Wilson made a great play. The Vikings defense is pretty good. The Vikings offense is atrocious. I know it's going to happen. Marshawn Lynch is going to play in this game.
He is.
So I think that's a huge plus for them. Again, there's the pedigree there with the Seahawks. They've been to Super Bowls. The Panthers with this current team haven't. So, yeah, Cam's the MVP. If Cam does, otherworldly stuff and dominates this game,
dab on him, like my phone case says.
He's a guy too that I think had a phenomenal season. But let's see, the one crunch time game I remember was versus the Giants. The Giants team that was out of the playoffs, and you beat them. That's great. They're not the Seahawks. Not the Seahawks defense.
They're not the Seahawks defense.
You went down the field
right.
in a minute versus defense that was playing JV squad level guys. So I like the Seahawks in this game. I think the Seahawks are going to surprise a lot of people. The defense is going to smother their run. You cannot run.
This is going to be close.
It'll be a close game. I think because it's just hard to defend Cam.
Can Cam Newton pull a rabbit out of his hat here?
And I think the same way it's hard to defend Cam, it's hard to defend Russell Wilson because he can make a play too. He's been making a lot of plays with his arm lately, and I still like Seattle in this game.
I don't really know. I'm kind of trying to convince myself one way or another. I guess for radio's sake and for the sake of me liking them all year long and putting my faith in them, I'll say Carolina. But like I said, it's not going to surprise me if and when Seattle upsets them, goes to the Super Bowl, and wins a Super Bowl. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. That team is nasty. But you know what? Maybe this is Newton's year. Maybe this is Newton's year to just kind of like prove everyone wrong. Not everyone wrong, but to finally put the icing on his unbelievable season. So I'm going to say Carolina wins a close one. And we'll go with that. But I'm not surprised if Seattle wins.
Yeah.
So we're split. Me and you are split.
So we have for the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both. That's the one different game.
Our difference is the NFC.
Yeah.
I got Arizona and Carolina, and conditional on AB, obviously.
So you're picking
Conditional
all,
AB and Ben.
picking all chalk.
Chalk.
Okay.
Chalk.
I'm fine with that.
Chalk unless Ben and AB play.
So it's like an asterisk pick.
It's an asterisk pick, yeah. Well, this is what the NFL wants. The NFL wants us to talk about them, and then they
NFL doesn't want you to podcast on the Thursday.
They don't want you to podcast. They don't want you to eat. So that's what I say. You don't want me to do it. I'm going to do it in this manner. Asterisk. Mark it 8.
All right, so that's all the NFL stuff. The one thing you did want to get into was the NBA. Big game tonight. Streak's ending.
I want to get into two things quickly before we end this. Yeah. One has literally nothing to do with sports, and it's about the Revenant. And two is Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James tonight. I cannot wait for that matchup. And Spurs, Cavs, 8 o'clock. Do you know where that game's being played? I'm going to look that up quickly. But I'm excited. I woke up this morning, and I have goosebumps about this game. It's in San Antonio, in Texas.
31 games in a row down in San Antonio.
I can't wait. I literally can't wait for this game. That series between Miami and San Antonio 2 years ago was probably the best basketball I've ever seen one team play in the history of my existence. Kawhi Leonard was just unstoppable against LeBron. Clamped him down, tough defense, and 2 years later, Kawhi Leonard is to the point where I'm ready to say he's a top 5 player in the league. And if I had to vote today, I would probably vote Draymond first, but I would give Kawhi Leonard the second vote for MVP. He's that good.
It's hilarious how Steph Curry's doing what he did, and no, he's not the MVP anymore. You're going to put Draymond Green in front of him.
It's crazy. Because
I don't think the league would agree, though.
Curry's going to win the award. It doesn't matter. He's a face. Everyone loves him. He's improved upon an already unbelievable season from last year, and is just doing naughty things. I mean, the guy is the damn Human Torch at certain points. He literally just flame on in the fourth quarter last night and scored like 22, 23 points. But this is about Kawhi Leonard, and I think that tonight is the game where Kawhi Leonard comes out and is like, I can do this. I'm the MVP. Watch me lock down LeBron James.
My one problem with that is that, naming him the MVP or top 5 player in the league is that if I wanted my top 5 player in the league, if I say Kawhi, go and score me 35, you have to score 35. I don't know if he can. I will. That's my problem with him. And same goes Draymond Green. Will Draymond Green give you 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10? Yeah, he could do
Draymond
that.
Green could give you a
Kawhi can give you
quintuple.
Kawhi can give you
a
15 and whatever across the board, a really good game too. He can fill a stat sheet and he'll stop your best player. But
Kawhi Leonard is on pace for, I don't know if he dropped off, but he's on pace for a 50-50-90 year. From a small forward that guards the best player on the other team every night, 50-50-90, that's absurd. That's absurd. And I get your point is that, yeah, he may not be able to score 40. He may not be able to go out there and just literally take the game over.
I need a top 5 player to do that because look at the other guys in the top, and you would put in the conversation. You put a LeBron, a Curry, a Kevin Durant, a Russell Westbrook,
and Durant, that's it.
Anthony Davis. All those guys are in the conversation. They could score that. DeMarcus Cousins even, he could score that.
Yeah.
It's hard to put a guy there who I don't think at will could do that. That's my only problem. That's my only hesitation. James Harden, another guy could do it. That's my one hesitation with.
But you can't win with Harden. You can't win with
Harden.
No,
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if you want to talk about top 5 talent.
No. I get you. I
guess you want to talk about best all-around player. Yeah, those are 1 and 2.
He might be the best
those
all-around
are 1 and 2.
with LeBron.
I mean,
best
even
overall
look
player.
at his team. Even look Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson can score more at will than a Draymond Green
Low
could.
key, Klay Thompson gets hotter than Steph does. There's a point in Klay Thompson.
People forget about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is a very big part of that team.
There are games where like Klay Thompson gets in this mode where missing is not an option. It's just up and in, up and in, up and in. And as much as Curry turns into the torch, he doesn't have the days where missing is not an option. Where Thompson does, and it's absurd.
Curry benefits a lot because of playing with Klay and Draymond. And
I think they all benefit from playing with one another.
Sure, and I think if they left those franchises, that's the thing too. If
I won the Powerball, I'd buy the Dubs.
If Kawhi, you couldn't, not enough money. If Kawhi,
really,
yeah, they cost too much. If I think like 12 NBA franchises cost more than $1 billion. You'd make like $890 million around there. That's trying to be
would the bank give me a $200 million loan to buy the Dubs?
Well, I mean, you could buy that's buying the whole team. I'm sure you could buy a stake or maybe like I don't know how much majority would cost, like whatever it is, just like to be a 51% owner.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm sure you could work it out with who's the owner of the team.
I don't even know.
It's not Bob Myers GM. I forgot who owns the team.
But do you think they'd listen to me? They'd be like, look, I'm gonna come on
the
there.
kid from
with all fresh
Queens who
ideas.
won the Powerball wants to buy the Kings. I mean the Kings, the Warriors. I mean, I'm sure they'd be interested. Anyone wants
Their
to.
owner is Lacob.
Yeah, Lacob. Yeah,
And Peter Goober.
right. I knew that. I mean, I'm sure you have a shot. You'd be in the running.
I'd be in the running, right?
Think so.
It'd be nice. I'd take you with me if you want. Go down to Oakland. I could do that.
See, everyone is like so crazy with the Warriors.
They get a new stadium, a
That's
new
right, they
arena
are.
right
Yeah.
on the water.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I'm not a big Warriors guy. I think it's because the overexposure, and I was having a conversation the other night watching the Knicks Celtics game. There was a commercial about the Warriors, and I'm just so like it's just too much. It's too much. Like ESPN, like it's like when ESPN they only show LeBron stuff.
Now it's only
and now
Curry.
they kind of stop with LeBron stuff. And now I'm like, oh, I kind of miss LeBron. I want LeBron to.
I don't. I certainly
See,
don't.
I do. I want LeBron to beat them because there's so much talk with the Warriors and they're the greatest team of all time. They're going to beat the Bulls record, and Steph Curry's the MVP, and Steph Curry's the best family of all time. And
For the record,
and I'm not disagreeing with any of that. Like I totally get it. I totally agree with all of it. I understand that he's easy to market. I understand that he has a great family. His dad, his brother, his daughter, his wife. I understand the Warriors are a great team to root for. What happened with Steve Kerr and Bill Walton taking over, and they could very well beat the Bulls record. I am agreeing with 100% of all of that. That's
however,
fine. Yeah, but the however is that like just because I agree with it, I don't want to see it every 5 seconds, and that's not the only thing going on in the NBA. People have forgot about the Spurs. People forgot that LeBron single-handedly last year almost beat the Warriors, and if LeBron had Love and Irving, I think they would have won that series.
Maybe.
And I'm not. You can't go. I don't like poo-pooing wins. I can't go back in time and change it, but. It's one of those things where you would have liked to see a full-strength team because it would not have been nearly as easy, and that's a fact.
And I don't think LeBron would have ate as much ham as he ate. Like LeBron was eating ham, just like what? Blah.
Yeah,
That's what LeBron was doing.
But he had no other choice.
No,
because
but
he was
that's what I'm
alone.
saying.
And
You
he had
have
to do
Love and you have Irving, and I don't think he goes off like he goes off.
No, I totally agree.
You know?
And it's basketball's a team game, and the Warriors have a great all-around team. It's not just one player. I mean, Curry didn't have a great finals, and,
No,
and
he didn't.
Clay didn't have a
But-
great finals at all by
No,
any stretch.
no.
So it was tough for them. I mean, Andre Iguodala was their best player. It's just a thing where I guess the overexposure just kind of bothers me, and I'm contrarian in the way that like if everyone's on someone's case,
You're
I'm
off
gonna be off of it. I'm gonna want the other thing. It's like I don't like choose to do it. It's just like I just go with my gut and how I feel. I go, oh, the Warriors. I don't care about the Warriors.
Here's the reason I like the Dubs. I like the Dubs because besides the style of basketball that they play, I've been on Curry since he was in college. I like him. I thought he was a nice story at Davidson, and I really wanted him to take his team all the way to the Final Four, all the way to the national championship, and it didn't happen. Were they Elite Eight loss? I think they lost the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
But
Go with
he
that.
was doing some things I have never seen before. And then I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, my same friend who has snubbed me on this RSS feed. And we were talking at school one day, and I was just like, dude, Curry is nasty. Like, he's nasty. Get over it. And he says to me, how much of him you've even watched? And I was like, well, I watched him put 54 on the Knicks on 11 of 13 from 3, so that was pretty cool. And I just realized that Curry does these things, and the Warriors do these things that we've never seen before in basketball. And we've never seen really in sports either. With the star player being so humble, but also playing with other players that he benefits from so much so. Yeah. And I think that it's a really interesting dynamic as to what goes on over there. They get a rookie head coach that he comes in, wins a title, now gets hurt, and now they have Luke Walton, who's like the 12th man on the Lakers team that won those 2 titles.
Yeah.
And he comes in and they're 36-3, on pace to tie the Bulls record. So I just love getting behind this good. It's a feel-good story. It makes you feel nice about it.
Everyone,
and
this is the
I'm
easiest thing
sick
to
of
like.
hearing about LeBron. I'm sick. I think that. I don't think those guys are good either in terms of, like James Harden. I don't want to root for James Harden.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
I don't want to root for James Harden. I mean,
I don't root for
Durant and Westbrook. Durant and
don't like
Westbrook
them
are
either.
nice, but I don't really have
guys.
a tie to them.
No.
But Steph Curry makes you feel like you could get behind him.
That's everyone says they're a very likable team, and there's no real hatred. There's no reason to hate them. That's what a big on series like on my channel. A big like the narrative is that it's so easy to like the Warriors, and everyone should like the Warriors. There's
And
no
I
reason to
get
hate
that
them.
reason being
And
the
because
reason why
that-
you don't like
and
them.
because
I
everyone
get
drills
that.
it in my head, I'm like, oh my god, I don't care about it. And I
get
agree
it.
with that. I agree. LeBron did a dumb thing by going to Miami the way he did, and that turned everyone off him.
That turned me off too.
Durant used to be everyone used to love Durant. Durant started just pissing off the media by saying really crazy stuff for no reason whatsoever, and that turned him up. Russell Westbrook's a weird dude, and James Harden is, I think, very aloof, and he's dumb. Like, he's very dumb.
I don't think he's a good leader in any sense of the word. He doesn't understand winning.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of superstars you could root for. Curry has the cute daughter, has the wife. He has the dad. Everyone knows Del Curry. He has his Jewish brother Seth, who went to Duke. Everyone knows him too. So I mean, there's everyone. So everyone knows the whole family. And it's fine. Draymond Green's like the crazy guy who kind of yells and says what's on his mind. Everyone kind of likes that. It's refreshing.
He looks like Donkey from Shrek.
Yeah, he's a character as well.
Did I tell you I'm going to Oh Hello, Kroll and Mulaney?
You got the tickets?
In Boston.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. February 1st or 2nd.
I wanted to go when they were here in like the Cherry Lane Theater or whatever.
Sold out in
I wanted to get
40 minutes.
It's a really, really small theater.
It's sold out in 40 minutes.
I wanted to go, but
I can't wait.
Jada doesn't understand humor like I do, so I asked for it on my Christmas list. I was like, what do you want for Christmas?
His Jewish brother Seth.
Yeah, his Jewish brother Seth, who he played the other night too. We beat him badly.
Yeah. Steph put the work on his brother.
He's not.
You saw him hit that three. He turns around at the Kings bench like, what do you think he said?
It's
He's
funny.
Like,
It's funny you said it too.
You guys all
you watched a lot of like in college. I watched way more of Seth Curry than Steph.
Well, because
Seth was the guy.
Because Duke.
Yeah.
Because Seth played for Duke, and he was lighting it up at Liberty for a little bit before he went to Duke and took that year off.
You're right.
But I mean, yeah, Curry put the work on him the other night. It was hilarious.
So anyway,
the
the Warriors, I get why you like him and everything, but I've not been one to be so over the top. I've seen so many Steph Curry people wearing Steph Curry shirts all over the place,
isn't it?
and people, their thing, and luckily. The Knicks fans are still around now because of their recent play, but if it wasn't for that, they would have definitely taken over. I mean, every stadium they go to on the road, that's not
sells
a team.
out.
Yeah,
sells
it's
out.
all Warriors.
I tried to get tickets in Brooklyn. They were like $450 a ticket
for the
Dubs.
The Warriors game. Yeah, because it's all full of Warriors fans now.
It's wild.
Meanwhile, the Knicks go and play the Nets. No Nets fans go. Knicks fans just buy tickets. They were cheering. The Nets. It was funny. One of the Nets blogs wrote something about. Like Brooke Lopez hits free throws to quiet the crowd. Meanwhile, the Nets were home yesterday. They were quieting the crowd that was booing them shooting the free throws because there's so many damn Knicks fans there. It's a mess in Brooklyn. I don't want to get into that conversation.
We don't even have to because that's just something that's might be the worst mess in literally all sports.
They're pretty. Them and the Browns, man, are pretty bad spots for both of them.
Pretty bad spot, man. But they were $450 to go to the Warriors
absurd.
game against Brooklyn.
Absurd.
It was just wild. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, it's too much money. The price is too much money. That's why you need to buy them and lower those prices. What was the thing you wanted to get to?
I want to get into just The Revenant because I wanted to hear your.
Did you watch The Globes?
No, I watched the movie.
Well,
I watched The Revenant.
Oh, you got these. I'm going with my dad soon. Been a little bit busy and I've been a little under the weather.
I did the Queen special.
What is that?
To buy it off the Asian lady for $5.
Oh, you got the DVD.
Oh yeah.
Is it like one of those like Academy qualities, or it's like the guy is like the Kramer recorded it with his?
Well, there's a weird iPhone in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
That like keeps going up and down. So, but it's HD.
Nice.
And it was mega nice.
Okay.
So I caught a nice copy from my girl, and she hooked me up pretty good. She hooked me up with a nice HD copy of Concussion too that I haven't watched. So I gotta watch that.
That's pretty good.
But here's what I want to know your opinion before I give you mine. On that. Oh wait, obviously you didn't.
No,
see it.
I'm gonna go soon. I will see it in theaters. I will pay the money to support the movie industry.
I will just say that this is the year I think it happens for him.
Everyone's been saying that. I read some stuff saying people actually were writing like sarcastic articles saying like, how can I vote for a guy who's like living inside of an animal and he's crawling and he grunts and just speak like it was like being funny of like what he does in the movie. So I think this is probably the year, and him winning at the Golden Globes I think it's for like a funny precursor because like you can see him up there like it's so great to win this, but he wants to just toss it and get the real one. So I hope he does.
How goatish would it be of Leo to just get up there and pull the Kanye like, I guess y'all were wondering what would happen if I didn't win. Guess we'll never find out.
You know what though? The scary part is I would not put it past the Academy to have like Will Smith win or like Michael B. Jordan win for like Creed, or like I would not put it past him. It's just some really out there.
Did oh my God, did they get nominated?
I think it actually came out today. Or
yeah,
yesterday.
they did come out. Hold on.
Actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Michael B. Jordan did get a snub. So I thought people said he was snubbed, but I'm pretty sure Will Smith's going to be nominated for it.
Yeah, I think. I think this is the year,
are.
and I was wishing you would have saw the movie. It was so good.
I will see it. It's funny because my dad.
So good.
My dad does not go to the movie theaters that often. My dad loves movies, but he doesn't go.
Right.
Like, he watches. He's a big
if
home
you
guy.
know
my dad loves.
if you know Big Ed, this is just how he goes.
Well, he does what you do. Like my dad has. Like, he had a connect.
Does he have a guy?
He had a movie guy who would give the you know how like the Academy people get the advanced screenings for it. Like you get a DVD copy, but it's not a boot. It's a bootleg, but it's like not a bootleg. It's a bootleg of. It's like I don't know how to describe it.
It's good. It's just a good copy.
It's not a tape copy. It's a real legit copy.
It's one of those.
So they give it to the Academy before the movie comes out. My dad somehow knew a guy who knows a guy, whatever, and did something for a guy, and he was getting a ton. He was getting a ton of those copies.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
The actor in a leading role, Bryan Cranston.
Okay, yeah.
Trumbo.
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Oh, from The Martian.
In the Martian. Michael Fassbender for playing Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Leo for The Revenant, and Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, from the girl.
The
movie?
Danish girl.
If they give it to him,
and then actor in a supporting role is almost more intriguing.
Will Smith's not up for it.
No.
Wow.
And then the actor in a supporting role is even more
Eddie
interesting.
Redmayne guy kind of scares me. I don't like him.
Bale from The Big Short. Sly from Creed. Mark Ruffalo from Spotlight. Mark Rylance from Bridge of Spies, and then Tom Hardy from The Revenant. I think The Revenant got nominated for 12 Oscars.
Yeah, I heard it's good. The directors are awesome. The Spanish dude, they were filming that movie in like negative 40-degree weather in like Calgary.
5 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 5 years it took to film that.
Yeah, I gotta go see. I'll tell my dad that you saw it. And anyway, my dad he loves getting the good
now
copies and watching
now that you ruined my conversation for the last 5 minutes, I have nothing more for you.
Well, anyway, so I brought my dad to go see Star Wars, and he wants to go again, and then he wants to go see The Revenant as well. So
another one.
So I'll bring my dad to
another
the movies, and he'll go twice in like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks.
And he'll never go.
He hasn't gone since the second Batman came out, and the last thing before that was like one of like the early on Harry Potters. Like he goes in for like big time movie. Actually, I'm lying to you. They actually remade not the Star Wars remakes, like the first 3 episodes. They remastered one of the older ones and put it like in a theater somewhere around here, and we went to see that.
Okay.
So my dad basically sees like Star Wars, Batman, and like a movie with Leo who he wanted to see because he heard about the whole story. It's a book.
It is a book, yeah.
And he heard about the story, and the guy is like a real like American, like guy's a beast.
I think the question is, would you ever do that? Would you ever sleep inside a horse?
I'd kill myself.
I think I'd rather fall on my sword.
I would kill myself.
I'd fall on my sword
easily.
before. If you tell me, yo,
the bear hits. What
got
happened?
a
The guy got cut open, and he had to lay in a log and let maggots eat his dead skin. Like I would, and it's cold. That's the worst part. Is the cold.
The cold is the worst.
It's 100% the worst part. Not the bear, not the living in a horse. That's
not
fine.
The maggots eating my dead skin.
No, it's the cold. It's 0 degrees. That is the worst part. If it was like 65 and a cold, like all right, like
65 degrees, I could smoke a cigar in that weather.
Oh, it's great. That's what I want. But 0 degrees, get out of here. The cold it's terrible, awful. It's full of snow. You can't. It's just the worst feeling ever. That makes everything amplified. It makes it way worse.
You know what it is? It's I was driving here and it was 40 degrees when I was driving here, and my toes were just cold in my sneakers, and I was like, you know what? 0 degrees, and I don't have anything on my feet barely. You can miss me with that.
Yeah.
You can miss me with that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long I'd last.
I give myself 5 minutes.
I don't know if I don't know if I would be able to kill myself. Why would I kill myself with a stick?
Well, what you'd have to do is you'd have to drown probably, or just freeze to death.
I'd probably just freeze to death. That's a slow, painful death.
Slow and painful.
Talking about this, it makes what the guy at phone ring makes what the guy did in real life, like the Revenant guy.
Way more badass.
100%.
Way more badass.
100%.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely want to see it. I'm all jacked up.
You have to see the movie.
I will. I promise you I will.
And that's the rest of it for me. You got anything you're looking forward to?
Oh, well, we look forward to the national championship game. We watched that. We look forward to the Giants hiring a coach. So we did that. Tonight you got Rangers, Islanders.
Rangers tonight in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Parents, they're going to the game. I got her dad a Henrik Lundqvist shirt to wear. So the Rangers need this game. I hope the Rangers pull this one out. Looking forward to obviously the NFL divisional rounds Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully my picks are right. I want to stay undefeated for the rest of the way. Besides that, I mean, we didn't talk about the Knicks that much. They've been playing pretty well. Pretty happy with the Knicks last night. It was one of those games where it was a classic trap game, and you're like, oh, we don't have Melo, but we'll be fine. And they just didn't show up, and that's sad. But they did show up for the Spurs game and a couple other games.
Yeah, no.
During the week,
The Knicks can beat good teams. They're not that bad.
I think they're doing it right. So I'm happy with that. I mean, it's just watching sports and getting back in the groove. I'm finally getting over this bug, and a lot of applying, a lot of working, and we'll see what happens there. Going to LA in March, so
No doubt, brother. I might be following you there.
that would work. So next week, to preview, what we have leading into the championship. I can't believe the NFL season's almost over.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts.
Yeah, it flew by.
So next week we'll prepare for the title games. That'll be great. I guess by then we'll see the outcome of the basketball game tonight and see if the Warriors lost any more games. So just typical stuff like that. Maybe some more NHL talk, maybe some more MLB talk. Obviously, if the Mets go and sign Cespedes, that's a big story around here. So we'll get
It's a huge story, yeah.
So we'll get into that. So stuff to get into, but as the NFL season's winding down. As always, follow us at DNS_podcast. Follow Nick at N_pick, PICHT. Follow me at Edward L. Murphy. Like the page on Facebook. It's just Dishing and Swishing Podcast. We'll post all the stuff there. SoundCloud too. Just type in Dishing and Swishing Podcast and SoundCloud. You'll find it there. We'll post this episode there as well.
iTunes, we coming for you though.
What happened?
I said iTunes, we're coming for you though.
iTunes is still figuring out the RSS feed thing. So if you listen to this and you go, "Hey, I know how to do an RSS feed and put your podcast to iTunes," I said,
"Call me, I'll pay you. Promise you, I'll pay you."
A pigeon, do one of those airplanes in the sky that writes messages. Any way to get to us so we can figure that out would be awesome.
Sips Gatorade.
Excuse me, as my mouth's running dry. I'm trying to think what else to promote. Thanks to everyone that listens and gives us feedback. I know this one's kind of long, but there's been a lot of content lately. So again, thanks to everyone. Follow us, like the pages. We'll post this very shortly because we do it in real time now because we have real dedicated workers, not like the old time.
Stop with your
Shots
shade.
fired.
Jesus.
I'll keep doing it. Anyway, any last words for next week's podcast?
I said it last week. I'll say it this week. Here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. And for Nick's sake, I think I said last year too. I will root for last week. I'll root for the Steelers as well because happy. What do they say? Happy co-host, happy life. That's the saying we're gonna go with.
We can go with that, sure.
All right. I'll see you guys next.